Got a Royal Caribbean cruise booked? Great. But don't do any of these things that will probably annoy everyone else around you, and I've got the list of them up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanblog.com. Being respectful to other people on your cruise is something that really should be automatic, and yet there are plenty of times when a cruise ship guest does something that makes you just shake your head. Most of the time, people do the right thing, but occasionally, you might witness somebody breaking an unwritten rule of cruising, whether it's poor etiquette, manners, or being selfish. These kind of missteps are the things that nobody wants to see. So, in an effort to avoid these gaffes, here are the top commonly made annoyances for other people that you should avoid doing on the cruise. Let's start with number one, and this is in this day and age a biggie now, even more so than ever, and that is grabbing food from the buffet with your hands. Now, this might be a thing of the past when cruising actually resumes because we don't know exactly what the changes will be to the buffet, but eventually, I think the self-service buffet will return at some point. And when it does, never grab food with your hands instead of using one of the tongs available to you. While it may seem innocent enough to grab a roll, apple, or strawberries you pass by, with your hands, of course, doing this spreads germs more than you think. Not to mention the fact, if you touch something and then change your mind, nobody wants to eat that. So use the provided tongs. If you accidentally touch something, take it with you. You don't have to actually eat it. It's okay, but don't leave it there for somebody else to take later on. Do the right thing. Use the tongs. Follow the rules there. Next up, and this is a biggie, chair hogs. So this is something that also occurs on land resorts, to be fair, but on cruise ships, it's definitely a thing, and that is people reserving chairs at the pool deck for the entire day is a major pain point for so many cruisers. There's no issue with the family spending time at the pool, but the people that get up at like the crack of dawn to reserve chairs, then disappear for a few hours to arrive later on is something that has gotten out of control on many ships. Of course, everyone wants to have a chair near the pool, and obviously there are not enough chairs for everybody on the ship at once to be able to be having a chair by the pool. So the considerate thing to do is only reserve the chair while you're there. If Aunt Beth is busy at the gym, getting her nails done, or sleeping in, reserving a chair for her for a few hours is also not cool. Lead by example, and regardless of what others do, only take chairs while you are actually there. If more of us did that, the chair hog issue wouldn't be an issue. Maybe that's wishful thinking. I'm not sure it'll ever go away, but gotta lead by example, do the right thing. Another example, something that annoys other people that's even a bigger deal today than it was before the cruise industry shut down, and that is not washing your hands. If the current global health crisis does nothing more than to force everybody to finally wash their hands after using the restrooms, then at least a little good has come out of all of this. If you go to the restroom, wash your hands when you leave it. You'd be amazed how many people skip washing their hands after departing the restroom or prior to entering a restaurant or buffet when there are crew members actively reminding everybody to wash your hands. So when you're leaving a restroom, when you're walking into a restaurant, and there are crew members and opportunities to wash your hands, you should absolutely do so. This isn't just for your own health, which, by the way, it's for the benefit of everybody. Keeping yourself as germ-free as possible is the right thing to do. Now, something that really grinds my gears is people who remove gratuities to save money on their vacation costs. Royal Caribbean allows guests to remove the automatic gratuity as a way to give crew members cash directly. So it's an option, not a way around it, but simply a different way to give crew members gratuities. So it's not a mechanism, however, to bypass gratuities altogether. Like it or not, and I've done videos about this before, gratuities on a cruise are part of the overall cost, period. Yes, technically speaking, they're listed as optional, but in practice, they're there to reward the hardworking crew members that look after your every need on board. If you're removing the gratuity in order to make your vacation cheaper and not tip, you should reconsider a cruise vacation. Another one that's really important and something that I missed in a couple other videos, and that is bad elevator etiquette. This tip applies not only for cruise ships, but elevators everywhere around the world, so you're welcome. This is a bonus tip that you can use in your everyday life. When you're waiting for an elevator and the elevator doors open, let the people in the elevator out first. Whether you're in a rush or just on your way, there is no reason not to let the people who are already in the elevator out first. Letting them out speeds up the process for everybody, and it makes it clearer how much room there is before others can board the elevator. Do the right thing, let them out first, then board. Don't worry, someone will hold the elevator doors for you. It's not a big deal. Another thing that definitely annoys people is ignoring crew member instructions. When a crew member gives an instruction, it's not a suggestion. Crew members are not only present to serve, but also to maintain order and ensure safety protocols are being followed. So when a crew member tells you to do something, ignoring them or circumventing their instruction is a bad idea. Not only is it disrespectful, but you may be putting yourself or others at risk by continuing to do whatever you were just told not to do. Now, this next one is less about safety or money or anything like that. It's just one of those things that annoys other people, and that is flaunting your Royal Caribbean Crown and Anchor status. If you've cruised enough to get to the top tiers of the Crown and Anchor Society, congratulations. You should be proud of the fact you made it this far, and it's a really big accomplishment, but everyone else really doesn't care. Royal Caribbean provides pins, lapels, and even special events for its top cruisers as a way to recognize their loyalty. But being a top tier member does not mean that everyone else on the ship needs to be constantly reminded of that fact. Essentially, take the benefits that you've earned that Royal Caribbean provides for being a loyal cruiser, but conversations involving your Crown and Anchor tier as a starting point for your conversation really aren't necessary. And lastly, and another life tip as well, don't get in a fight. Not only is getting in a verbal or physical alteration really silly among grown people, it's against the cruise line rules, and you'll probably regret it later on. Think about any shouting match or fracas you've ever had or ever been involved in, even going back to as a kid, and then think about if you wish now that you had avoided the whole thing. If there's a problem with another guest, speak to a crew member so they can get involved. Even if it's one of the annoyances listed in this video, it's not your place to enforce the cruise line rules or even common courtesies. Yes, of course, that person deserves to be told something and you love to get in their face, but let's be realistic. There's no winning when it comes to these sort of altercations, and more likely you're just going to be guilty by association, so move on or alert a crew member to take care of it. So there you go. There are some top annoyances that a lot of cruisers do that just annoy everybody else, so try not to do any of these things. I certainly try to remind myself of these from time to time, and the elevator one, especially for my kids, my goodness, I still, every time I got to remind them of that one. Let me know in the comments, what are some things that you've seen on a cruise ship that definitely annoy you that you've seen other people do? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on your notifications so that way YouTube lets you know when I have a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanblog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.